I think the one I enjoyed reading more than anything else. I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen.
The royal family has weathered many storms throughout history, but nothing could have fully prepared them for the upheaval that erupted behind palace walls. What began as faint murmurs of dissatisfaction quickly escalated into a dramatic internal crisis. At the heart of this turmoil was a stunning decision that sent shockwaves through the monarchy, an unexpected declaration from Camilla that challenged the very foundation of royal convention. She insisted that she should no longer be referred to as Queen Consort, but simply as the Queen. This daring move stood in direct defiance of long-standing promises made to the late Queen Elizabeth II, sparking divisions within the royal household. Camilla's announcement left even the most loyal royalists stunned. It came at a critical moment, just days before King Charles III's coronation. A meeting that was supposed to be a routine discussion about the historic event quickly turned into a defining moment for the monarchy. According to insiders, Camilla entered the meeting with a striking air of confidence, unlike anything previously observed from her. Before anyone could process what was happening, she made her bold declaration. The room, filled with senior royal officials, many of whom had served the crown for decades, was plunged into a tense silence. The statement was more than a simple change in terminology. It marked a fundamental break from centuries of royal tradition and a clear contradiction to Queen Elizabeth II's public wishes. For years, the palace had carefully managed Camilla's evolving public image. Her role had been gradually redefined to gain public acceptance. But with one resolute decision, she dismantled that carefully crafted narrative. She declared that the term, Queen Consort, diminished her status and that she would henceforth be known without qualification as the Queen. This announcement evoked memories of the complicated history surrounding her marriage to Charles in 2005, a union overshadowed by controversy. Camilla's involvement in the breakdown of Charles's marriage to Princess Diana had left a bitter mark on public sentiment. In an effort to ease tensions, Clarence House had once formally stated that Camilla would not be known as the Princess of Wales out of respect for Diana. Additionally, it was promised that upon Charles's ascension to the throne, Camilla would hold the title of Princess Consort, not Queen, a compromise aimed at preserving Diana's legacy. Yet over time, that stance softened. In February 2022, Queen Elizabeth II publicly expressed her wish for Camilla to be known as Queen Consort once Charles became king. Even so, Camilla never felt truly acknowledged by the title. To her, the designation of consort implied a subordinate role. She desired equal recognition, a status as queen in her own right. The fallout was swift and severe. Senior palace officials, many loyal to the late queen, voiced immediate objections. They reminded Camilla of the solemn assurances made to both the public and Queen Elizabeth II. Changing the title now, they argued, would provoke controversy and tarnish the monarchy's already delicate public image. Despite the pushback, Camilla remained unmoved. Insiders noted that she listened to the arguments with an air of quiet impatience. As debate filled the room, multiple officials urged her to reconsider, highlighting how the existing title had been carefully chosen to honor Princess Diana and minimize public backlash. But it was clear Camilla had made up her mind long before this meeting. She wasn't asking for consent, she was declaring a decision already made. In the end, her will prevailed. After the coronation, the royal family's official website was quietly updated. No formal announcement was issued, just a silent but unmistakable change. Camilla was now officially listed as the Queen. With that discreet edit, the era of Queen Consort was concluded, and a new chapter was etched into royal history. Word of the update spread quickly through palace corridors. Reactions were mixed, some expressed disbelief, others were incensed. But the most vocal opposition came from Princess Anne, widely regarded as one of Queen Elizabeth II's most steadfast supporters. For Anne, Camilla's decision was nothing short of a betrayal, an outright dismissal of their mother's wishes. What followed was the emergence of a deepening rift between the two women. Anne's discontent did not fade. She viewed the change not merely as a breach of protocol, but as a personal affront to Queen Elizabeth's enduring legacy. While Anne refrained from public displays of emotion, palace sources described her demeanor as icy and resolute in private. The tension came to a head during a post-coronation reception, an event intended to celebrate unity within the royal family. Instead, it became a stark reminder of the widening divide behind the palace walls. What was intended to be a celebratory royal gathering quickly became the scene of a sharp and unexpected confrontation. Camilla was reportedly overheard making a comment about finally being recognized as the queen. Whether she meant it in jest or as a sincere expression remains uncertain, but the effect was immediate and intense. For Princess Anne, who had maintained a composed exterior throughout the coronation events, it was the final straw. In full view of senior members of the royal household, she let her frustration surface, reportedly delivering a stinging remark that left the room in stunned silence: "You're not the queen, just the king's wife." This explosive exchange wasn't the beginning of tension between Anne and Camilla, it was simply the most visible. Their relationship has always been distant, marked by a noticeable lack of warmth. While other royals gradually grew to accept Charles's second wife, Anne never followed suit. She has kept her distance, maintaining only a surface-level politeness that never blossomed into a meaningful connection. Biographers frequently describe their interactions as cold, formal, and occasionally tense. The root of their discord lies deeper than a single remark or disagreement. It's grounded in stark contrasts between their personalities, values, and interpretations of royal duty. Anne has always viewed her position within the monarchy as a solemn responsibility. Her decades of public service, often involving the most grueling and unglamorous assignments, speak to her deep commitment. She never sought the spotlight or public affection. For her, fulfilling royal obligations quietly and diligently has always been paramount. Duty, not popularity, defines royalty in Anne's eyes. Camilla, by contrast, has often been accused of being more image-conscious than duty-driven. When she formally entered the royal family, her reputation was heavily colored by the public backlash linked to her past with Charles. Since then, she has worked deliberately to reshape her image, choosing public engagements that cast her in a favorable light. While some see this as a commendable effort to rebuild trust, and reportedly views it as superficial, a pursuit of popularity rather than genuine service. This fundamental clash in values has made it difficult for Anne to accept Camilla as an equal within the royal structure, let alone as queen. From Anne's perspective, authentic royal status is earned through discipline, sacrifice, and unwavering service, not curated public perception. Their divergent communication styles have only widened the rift. Anne is famously direct, often blunt, and rarely concerned with political correctness. She doesn't sugarcoat her opinions or play palace games. If something displeases her, or if someone does, she makes her views unmistakably clear. Camilla, by contrast, is known for her more strategic and understated approach. She prefers subtle influence and behind-the-scenes relationship building, which has led Anne to question her motives. Some palace insiders believe Camilla has methodically cultivated support within royal circles to bolster her position. To Anne, who places a high premium on integrity and transparency, such maneuvering appears manipulative. She believes loyalty to the crown should be simple and free of personal agendas, an ideal she feels Camilla does not embody. Anne's now infamous remark, "You're not the queen, just the king's wife," wasn't merely a spontaneous outburst. It encapsulated years of tension, a culmination of long-held beliefs and unspoken resentments. While many in the royal family have adjusted over time and made peace with Camilla's elevated role, Anne has remained unwavering in her stance. Their relationship, despite appearances of civility in public, has remained strained and frosty. This ongoing friction isn't a matter of recent disagreements but a reflection of long-standing differences. At its core lies a profound divergence in how each woman perceives royal life, one rooted in lifelong service, the other in image rehabilitation and personal assertion. The divide has endured quietly over the years, but moments like the post-coronation gathering reveal just how deep the rift runs. Princess Anne has long been known for her unwavering dedication to royal duty, never driven by public acclaim or personal gain. Her commitment to service stands as a testament to her belief that life within the monarchy is a solemn calling, one that demands discipline, humility, and perseverance. She has consistently carried out her responsibilities without complaint or a desire for praise, embodying the idea that royal service should be about devotion, not self-interest. Camilla's journey within the royal spotlight has followed a markedly different path. From the beginning, her public image suffered due to her relationship with Charles. Since then, she has worked diligently to rehabilitate her reputation. However, critics argue that her focus has often leaned more toward image management than on undertaking the more demanding and less glamorous aspects of royal life. Unlike Anne's grounded, task-focused approach, Camilla is perceived to choose public engagements more selectively, often favoring those that help enhance her public persona. This contrast in attitude has created a clear divide between the two women. Within royal circles, it is believed that Anne sees Camilla's efforts as superficial, guided more by self-promotion than by a sincere desire to serve. To Anne, being royal means fulfilling duties with humility, not seeking the approval of the masses. This deep-rooted difference in how they perceive their roles within the monarchy has made it difficult for Anne to accept Camilla as an equal. Communication style has further fueled the tension. Anne is known for her bluntness and honesty. She avoids palace politics and is unafraid to speak her mind, regardless of the consequences. Camilla, in contrast, is seen as more diplomatic and calculating. Rather than addressing issues openly, she is thought to exert influence quietly, working behind the scenes and cultivating strategic relationships. This behind-the-curtain approach has made Anne wary, with some insiders suggesting that she views Camilla's style as manipulative. According to those close to the royal household, Anne reportedly made a striking comment during a tense moment, telling Camilla, "You're not the queen, just the king's wife." It was a bold statement that echoed long-held sentiments and underscored the long-standing strain between them. Their relationship has never been warm. While other royal family members eventually accepted Charles' second wife, and kept her distance. Her interactions with Camilla have always remained polite but formal, never evolving into closeness. Royal commentators frequently describe their dynamic as icy. This isn't a recent development, but one that stretches back years. Their mutual coldness is deeply rooted in fundamental differences, opposing personalities, clashing values, and diverging goals. Though they continue to appear civil in public, insiders maintain that a significant rift lies beneath the surface, quietly shaping their interactions. One of the primary drivers of this tension is their view of royal responsibility. For Anne, being part of the monarchy is not a privilege, it is a duty. She has spent her entire life tackling some of the most difficult royal assignments without protest or expectation of recognition. The spotlight has never been her aim. For her, service means quiet sacrifice, and recognition is secondary to commitment. In contrast, Camilla's approach has often drawn criticism. When she officially joined the royal family, her image was still marred by her past. Since then, she has made efforts to repair public opinion, but her choices of engagement suggest a more selective, image-conscious strategy. While Anne embraces the most challenging, often thankless roles, Camilla is perceived as curating her appearances to suit her public narrative. This difference in perspective has made it hard for Anne to fully acknowledge Camilla's role, let alone accept her as queen. Anne holds firm to the belief that royalty must be grounded in loyalty, discipline, and selflessness. These values, in her view, are not negotiable. Her communication reflects that same conviction, frank and unfiltered. She doesn't engage in behind-the-scenes games or strategic positioning. If she disapproves of someone or something, she makes her thoughts crystal clear. On the other hand, Camilla is more reserved in her approach. Rather than confront challenges head-on, she maneuvers through delicate palace politics with quiet diplomacy. Some within the inner circle believe she has built a network of alliances to solidify her position. To Anne, such tactics seem deceptive, undermining the values of honesty and transparency that she believes should guide royal conduct. The remark Anne is said to have made, "You're not the queen, just the king's wife," resonates beyond a single conversation. It is a reflection of decades of unresolved differences. Unlike others in the family who softened their stance toward Camilla over time, Anne has remained cool and distant. Their exchanges have rarely gone beyond basic courtesy, and palace observers continue to describe their relationship as emotionally distant and fraught with silent tension. Ultimately, the discord between Anne and Camilla is not rooted in petty rivalry but in a fundamental clash of values and principles. While Anne lives by the ideals of sacrifice and duty, Camilla's path has been shaped by image rehabilitation and quiet influence. These differing philosophies have created a rift that time has done little to mend. Though their public demeanor remains composed, the underlying divide continues to define one of the royal family's most private yet profound conflicts. When Camilla became part of the royal family, her public reputation was heavily influenced by her past with Charles. Since then, she has focused on reshaping that perception and rebuilding her image. In contrast to Princess Anne, who takes on challenging duties regardless of attention or recognition, Camilla is often seen as selectively choosing engagements that enhance her public standing. Royal observers suggest that Anne interprets this as self-interest rather than a sign of genuine commitment. This fundamental difference in how they view royal duty has created both an emotional and ideological rift between them. For Anne, loyalty means placing duty above everything else. It's not about curating one's image or climbing in status, it's about hard work and selflessness. Their clashing values are mirrored in their communication styles, which have only widened the divide. Anne is famously blunt, often saying exactly what she thinks without softening her words, and she has little patience for palace politics. Camilla, by contrast, is seen as diplomatic and measured. Instead of confronting issues directly, she is believed to manage relationships quietly, building influence behind closed doors. This strategic style has made Anne suspicious of Camilla's rise within the royal institution. According to palace sources, Camilla has worked deliberately to gather support at influential levels. To Anne, who values honesty and transparency, such behavior comes across as manipulative rather than loyal. This tension has surfaced in more than just private conversations. At one point, Anne reportedly made a pointed comment that silenced a room: "You're not the queen, just the king's wife." The remark captured years of quiet discontent. While many members of the royal family eventually came to accept Charles's second wife, Anne never truly welcomed her. She has always maintained a formal and distant relationship with Camilla, and biographers often describe their interactions as cold and reserved. The friction between Anne and Camilla is not a recent development, it stretches back decades, rooted in deep differences of personality, values, and outlook. Though they maintain polite appearances in public, insiders suggest that their conflict remains unresolved and quietly simmers beneath the surface. A major source of this tension is their contrasting views on royal duty. For Anne, being royal is about responsibility and sacrifice, not privilege or popularity. Anne has devoted her life to carrying out the monarchy's most challenging and often thankless responsibilities without seeking the spotlight. Her concept of royal service centers on putting duty before ambition. Camilla, on the other hand, has frequently been accused of prioritizing public image over substantive service. When she first entered the royal fold, her image was already troubled. Since then, she has worked hard to improve public opinion, yet many see her choices as calculated to benefit her reputation rather than the monarchy. Because of these diverging philosophies, Anne finds it difficult to accept Camilla as her equal, let alone as queen. Anne's vision of royalty is built on discipline, selflessness, and integrity. Their differing communication styles only add fuel to the fire. Anne speaks candidly and avoids palace games. If she disapproves of something, or someone, she makes it known without pretenses. Camilla's more discreet and strategic approach contrasts starkly with Anne's straightforward demeanor. Some insiders believe that Camilla has quietly built a network of key allies within the royal institution to solidify her influence. Anne, who prizes honesty and directness, reportedly resents this as manipulative. She believes loyalty to the crown should be pure and unclouded by personal agendas. In recent years, attention has begun to shift toward other royal figures who embody values more aligned with Anne's, such as Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. Sophie has earned widespread respect for her calm and controversy-free presence. She is steadily becoming a more prominent figure in public engagements. As royals like Sophie take on greater visibility, the necessity of Camilla's presence within the monarchy may start to decline. This shift could signal a gradual sidelining of Camilla and a deeper struggle for relevance. Camilla now finds herself at a crossroads. Both Anne and Prince William appear to resist her growing influence, albeit in different ways. Anne has been openly distant, while William is believed to be subtly steering the monarchy's focus away from Camilla's role. The royal family, long viewed as a symbol of tradition and unity, is now facing internal friction that could alter its future course. Camilla, however, has never been one to withdraw without a fight. She spent years battling for public acceptance and legitimacy within the royal family. Now that she holds the title of queen, she seems determined to maintain her place. Yet, with growing opposition from key figures like Anne and William, her push for influence may backfire, isolating her further within the institution. If she chooses to step back, Camilla may retain some status but will likely have to let go of the broader ambitions she fought so long to achieve. Her challenge is further compounded by the fact that her circle of allies within the royal family is limited. Though King Charles has always stood by her, his declining health has made him increasingly dependent on others for decision-making. With Prince William and Princess Anne taking on more central roles in guiding the monarchy, even Charles's support may not be enough to secure Camilla's place in its future. Beyond Charles, Camilla has few strong relationships within the younger generation of royals. Prince William, the heir to the throne, is focused on modernizing the monarchy, a direction that may not align with Camilla's traditional approach. Catherine, Princess of Wales, maintains a respectful but distant rapport with her, and the youngest royals, George, Charlotte, and Louis, have minimal connection with her. What lies ahead remains uncertain. Camilla's next move, whether to push forward or pull back, will shape how history remembers her. Will she be seen as a defining figure in the evolution of the monarchy, or as a queen who, despite her title, became gradually overshadowed?